Hi, and welcome to Toni Time. I'm so happy you're here today. I'm very, very thrilled. A young lady arrived last night at 6 p.m., picked her up at the Portland Jetport, my niece Rachel. Rachel, honey, darling, you're back.
Hi. Yes, I'm here.
Yes, now as you remember, we're going to recap the story.
Okay, you recap for me.
I'll recap for you. We interviewed Rachel about a year and a half ago, and she was leaving Orlando and moving to LA. Now you remember Pat, who was on my show, the father of Lamb Chop. Well, Rachel stayed with them for a little while with Pat, Jimmy, until she found an apartment in LA and got her feet wet and everything, which is, staying with them is quite funny anyway.
It is. They cooked for me, and I did the dishes.
Right.
Because I don't cook.
She doesn't cook. They cook.
They cook.
Yeah, yeah.
They fed me. It was good. They kept me alive.
They did keep you alive, because if not, I would have to go to LA and have a talk with them.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, they're
wonderful.
they're
It
very
was great.
right. I mean, they're very funny. I'm going to tell a story.
Okay.
You know, when Pat and Jimmy were here staying with me, and Pat was on the show, and I interviewed him about the movies and all of that. They like to have a little bit of vodka. I mean, come on, they're in their mid-60s. They live in Hollywood. You know, as Pat says, it has corrupted him. He never smoked, he never drank, and now in his mid-60s, you know, he's an alcoholic. But anyway,
He's going to kill you for saying that just now, but that's okay.
you're not going to show him the show.
No.
So anyway, they're at my house, and this was like in October. And when they arrived, they bought a gallon of vodka. Okay. So that was on Monday. The vodka was gone on Thursday. They had to go get a fifth to take them through till Saturday morning because they had a flight out at dark 100.
Yeah.
So, in the meantime, I sleep very sound. I mean, I am just like, my mother almost drowned in a bathtub, and I didn't hear her. Okay, the dogs woke me up. So, with that being said, get up the next morning, Pat and Jimmy are sitting around the counter, having their coffee and their tea, and I'm having my coffee. It was a very icy morning. I mean, not cold-wise, but inside with conversation, there was like,
Something happened.
something happened. And I said, so, did everybody sleep well last night? And Jimmy goes, didn't you hear me fall out of bed? Didn't you hear Pat scream my name, run up the stairs, and then fall down the stairs?
No.
No. Didn't you know that we stood by your bedside looking at you, sound asleep, and those 3 dogs of yours, sound asleep? We could have died. I said, yes.
Yes, you could have.
You could have
But
died.
you didn't.
That's why my mother's in assisted care living. I didn't hear her in the bathtub drowning. It was,
Can we tell them about Jimmy? Where I found him?
oh, go ahead, tell that story.
So I lived with them for a
Yeah.
while, and when you live with someone, you really get to know somebody. And a couple of nights, I would be up watching TV, vegging, they'd go to bed, or I would think Jimmy went to bed. And then I would go into the bathroom to go to the bathroom, and there was somebody in there, asleep on the toilet. Jimmy would pass out like this on the toilet. And I'd go, Jimmy, Uncle Jimmy, you got to go to bed. It's time to go to bed. Okay. And then he'd go back to sleep on the toilet for another like half hour.
Oh, well,
Scary at first, but then very funny.
well, you get used to
Yeah,
it.
you're just like, oh, that's Jimmy in the bathroom. Oh, I'll wake him up. He'll go to bed in a minute. But it was wonderful.
Well, when they were at the house, and I don't have a big house, and Pat and I are playing Scrabble, and Pat says, where's little Jimmy? I said, Pat, his house isn't that big. He said, I better go look for him. So I'm trying to figure out a word, and I hear, oh, Jimmy, you fell asleep on the toilet again.
Yeah,
I bursted out laughing because I know what you told
I
me.
had told her. Asleep on the toilet.
I mean, we love them to pieces, but it is very funny.
Yeah.
But when Jimmy fell out of bed, I don't hear anything.
No. He fell out of bed when I was living with them, too. He fell out of bed and hit the table, and I didn't hear a thing. Nothing.
No.
No, I don't hear anything
No,
either.
they get very upset that we don't hear them because they could die.
Well, I could die too, and would you hear me?
No.
You wouldn't hear me. I wouldn't hear you.
No, we just both
We'd just be dead together.
be dead together until Steve and Steve come. I said, you know, they're not here for the show.
I wonder what happened.
We better run over to their house.
But anyway, so I lived with Pat and Jimmy for a while, and
Yeah.
then they introduced me to a good friend of theirs, Molly, who lives in the Hollywood Hills.
Ooh, doesn't she have a mansion or
She
something?
has a big mansion in the Hollywood Hills, and she needed somebody to house sit for her, you know, because she has another big house in Canada that she had to go spend the summer in. So I volunteered to watch her house for her.
For how many months?
I was there, I think, 4 months. 4 months,
Wow,
which
that's
was
good.
wonderful. The house was great, really big. And then I had 2 couples around my age live with me as well throughout. I had one couple, Amy and Galen, they had just gotten married. They lived in the house with me for a month, and then they left. And then Galen's sister and husband then moved in with me in the house, and I lived with them and had a great time. It was a revolving door of people.
So what was the house like?
House is a little strange because it's built into the hills. So, you know, LA is full of hills. And this house is built into the side of the hill, and it has no view. Now, that sounds really
Yeah.
bad. Like, oh yeah, it's this great house in the hills, but it doesn't have a view, so it's really not that great. But that's what people say there in
Yeah.
LA. They're like, well, do you have a view? And she doesn't have a view. You need to build, it needs to be like one more floor higher, and then you would have
Yeah.
a beautiful view of downtown and the other hills. But it's right next to Runyon Canyon, which is where all the celebrities go hiking. It's like right next to it. So 3 floors. It's built weird. The top floor has the kitchen, living room, dining room, and backyard
Yeah.
is on the top floor. And the bottom floor is like the garage and 2 guest bedrooms, and then the middle floor is her room and a library study, and then the top floor is like the main
Wow.
living area. It's laid out a little strange, but
Sounds large.
it's really big, really nice. It was fun living there. And her neighbors. Literally, her neighbors right behind on the top floor are Bill and Felicity. Bill and Felicity, if you don't know who that is, that's Felicity Huffman and William H. Macy.
Okay.
But, you know, Bill and Felicity are next door.
Right.
So, but I never did see them. I never.
You wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, no. But, yeah, it was an interesting.
So now, how's your career? I mean, you have an agent now, and he's not doing too much for you.
I hope he doesn't watch this. No, I have an agent, and he's an agent manager,
Right.
and I'm a host, and they do more commercial actors, and they've taken me on and have helped me out.
Yeah.
And have submitted me. I've been on a lot of auditions,
Yeah.
which is good because some people don't get any auditions. Even just getting selected to go audition is a good thing.
Right.
I've gone to commercials and for hosting things like
Well,
commercials.
hosting's your thing.
Right, but they're also submitting me for acting jobs, which is very funny. I had to go in for a probiotic commercial.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And there's no script. They don't tell you anything. They just say, show up here. You're going to be in you're a 30-year-old woman who is a dancer. That's all they tell you.
Okay.
So you show up and they say, okay, just stand in front of the camera, say your name. And, okay, now you're a dancer and you're on center stage and your stomach hurts.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the heck? Like, I have no idea. I'm like, all right, well, my stomach's upset. And then they're like, okay, now your boyfriend's going to walk in, and they have a guy walk in, and he's like trying to cheer me up.
Yeah.
And I can't. My stomach hurts. And then I take this magical probiotic and I feel great. And they're like, okay, now throw your hands in the air and dance off the stage. I'm like, yes. And I do a little twirl, because luckily I have some dance background, and I jump off the stage. That's it. And they say, thank you so much. That was great.
We'll call you if we need you.
And you just leave. And that's it. It's very funny. But you just have to go for it. You just have to do
Well,
it.
you do. You do. I
And
mean,
it's good practice because, you know, they don't, a lot of the times they don't tell you what to do. You just show up, they hand you a script and say, go. And if you overthink it or, you know, try to memorize it, you just have to be yourself. And half the time they don't know what they want until they
Right.
see it. And you just do what you do and that's it. So it's been a really good experience. And the hosting jobs have been hard to come by, but I'm in the mecca of the place where everybody who's at the top of their game is trying to do
Yeah.
what you do. And it's just a matter of finding the right job that's the fit for me. And I'm the fit for them,
right.
you know? Because they'll send me out for something and they want, you know, a tall Latina woman host.
Right.
But they'll throw me in the mix, the blonde, like
Yeah.
all-American girl, just to give them options. But really, they don't even want me, you know? So you can't let it get you down. That's the thing. Some people get really stressed out.
Yeah,
About
but,
it.
you know, the more experience you have, the more
Exposure.
Practice,
You just have to,
exposure.
I just have to
Yeah.
keep putting my face out there, getting out there.
and you would stand out among a lot of Latinos.
Well, right.
Yeah.
I'm very different.
Yeah.
And so it's been good. And then I'm taking hosting classes,
Oh, tell them from who?
television host classes from Marky Costello.
Which is
She is, what is that?
The grand-
Abbott Costello? Lou.
Abbott Costello.
Abbott Costello.
No, Lou Costello.
Lou, I think.
Steve, Lou, or Abbott?
I don't remember.
Are you guys
I get
back
them
there?
mixed up.
What? What?
I don't know.
I.
They
Oh,
don't remember either. All right. So she's the great
Abbott, Abbott, Lou Costello.
Lou Costello, the
Yeah.
granddaughter. That's his granddaughter.
Yeah, the
So
one
she-
that's the chubby
Yeah.
one, right?
So she comes from a line of, you know, people
Yeah.
in the industry. She knows this industry backwards and forwards, and she has she teaches hosting classes, and she's incredible. And I've learned a lot from her.
And you had to do that. You had,
Yeah.
because in order for her to get involved in the LA world, you've got to use their photographers, their acting coaches, even though you've already,
I have the skills and I know and I have the experience, but you have to play their game
Right.
and learn their game. The hosts they want today are just you, because anybody can be a host.
yeah,
And that to me, I was like, what do you mean? No, they can't. I went to journalism school. I have all this experience. I know how to write. I can do all this. And it's like, yeah, that doesn't mean anything. Not in LA.
Not
They
in
want
LA.
a personality. They want you to just be you.
right.
Because of the world that we live in today with social media and all these reality TV shows where you're seeing real people on TV.
Oh, yeah.
People want to see more real people. And you'll notice if you look at the hosts on TV today, the like super perfect, hi, I'm Rachel Kopchak. Welcome to the show, doesn't exist.
Right.
They want like, hey, what's up? I'm Rachel. You know, thanks for joining me. They just
It's-
want you. They want authenticity because they can relate to that. And it makes sense.
It
so
does
that's
make
what she's
sense.
teaching. The skills I'm learning from her is more of how to just be you and bring you to whatever copy, whatever script you're reading.
Well, she had a reality show on.
Yeah, I think she's
I
starting to
watched
film
it.
again.
Yeah. Oh, did she really?
I think they're in
I wonder
the
if you're going
works
to be in the
to-
filming.
I don't know. I don't know if that that would be fun.
Yeah, no, I
But-
remember watching it, and she was like
Yeah.
a screamer.
What's it called? What was I can't think right now.
I mean,
the drama queen. The drama queen.
right, the drama queen.
On Bravo. You can watch her and see
Yeah.
what she's like. And she is her true authentic self all the time. And she's hilarious. And she's great.
She is
and
funny.
she's tough.
Yeah, she is
She's
tough.
really tough and she tells you like it is. And some people don't react well to that. But I think
But that's the only way you're going to learn. It's the only way you're going to, if somebody sugarcoats it, you're not going to learn.
no.
You need to know the truth.
Yeah, she pushes you, and it's great. The last class I had with her before the Christmas break, like before December,
Yeah.
I did the copy, and I had a co-host, and I did everything, and she was like, "You've got it, technically." She's like, "You know what you're doing, you've got all the technical whatever." And then she looks at me and she goes, "But who are you?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't know. I'm just me. I don't know. What do you mean?" She's like, "Yeah, you just need to bring more of you. Like, I need to know, who are you? What's your point? Like, who are you?" I was like, "Okay." And I just sat down. I was like, "Okay." So, and then all I could think of was Alice in Wonderland. There's this scene where she's with the caterpillar, who smokes the opium in the movie, and he's like, "Who are you?" That's all I kept playing in my head over and over again. And in the clip, Alice is like, "Well, I don't know. I just fell down the rabbit hole. I'm just here." So anyway, I know who I am, but it's about figuring out how to bring that to what I do. It's been fun.
Okay. Who are you?
I'm Rachel Kopchak.
Okay. As your
That's it. That's who I don't know. I'm just me. I don't know. I can't explain. How do you explain to somebody who you are?
Well, I'll explain who you are.
Okay.
Because I'm your aunt.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's hear this.
Okay.
I'm ready. Bring it on.
Okay, ready? You think we should switch chairs?
Right?
All right. This is Rachel Kopchak. This is my niece. I have history with her. I have history with her going back to when she was a baby, before she was born. Okay, I've watched her. She is a very creative. Don't get nervous.
Okay.
She's really on edge. She's very creative. She started to be creative at about 5, when she was playing house with her friend, her neighbor. That was the start of her creativity. From that point on, you kind of stood back. You were not part of the normal crowd at school. She kind of had her own thoughts and her own dealings with things. Then as you got older, you wanted to get life going. She wanted to just get going. So she kind of sped things up a bit, starting to live life her way. Don't get frightened.
No, you're right.
Of course I'm right. Her mother, Marty, which we've had on the show before with Ashley, wanted to have a child that was a Leo. And
Here I am.
I'm a Leo.
She wanted a blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl, Leo.
Leo, right. And she got it. Okay. So as I watched Rachel go through a lot of growing up, she became a very strong woman, a very independent woman. If she is cornered too much, she gets claustrophobic. She's very intelligent. You can put her in the middle of chaos and she will calm it down. That's who you are.
It's true.
All right. The only problem is she's going, okay, what's she going to say now? Now what? She needs to back up a little bit from time to time before she attacks. But you're a very strong, independent woman.
Right.
That's who you are. You're a talented woman. You can be a chameleon.
I can.
I know you can. That's who Rachel Kopchak is, from
Yeah.
her aunt.
And a sick sense of humor.
Well, very sick sense of humor.
And sixth. Both.
Huh?
Sick,
Yeah?
like just dirty sense of humor, and then like a sixth sense. We have like a sixth sense
Well, we do have it.
in
Yeah.
life, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say sick sense of humor?
Both. Yes. Just yes.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So
So that's who you
it.
are. And
Yeah.
yes, you're kind of like Alice in Wonderland, going down the rabbit hole. But this is what you created in your mind to see. And see, you fantasize these things, which is great. I did that as a kid.
Oh, here's the other thing from Marky that I've learned. She's so ahead of the curve with the way the industry's going, and a lot of her concept is you have to build a brand. You are a brand. So what is your brand? If you love gardening and you've gardened your whole life and you know everything about it, then you're, Gina the gardening gal. And you have a blog and you film your little videos and you put them on YouTube and you give tips and all this and that. And I was struggling with finding my brand because I don't have just one thing that I'm extremely passionate about. I mean, I
Right.
love sports, I love, fitness, fashion, travel. There wasn't just one thing that I could fit into a box, except I ended up realizing through my friend Michael, he was like, well, the only thing you're really ever been passionate about is being a TV host reporter.
Right, that's true.
And I've never wanted to do it for me, like for me to be the star.
Yeah.
I like to hear other people's stories and share their stories and learn from them. I don't do it for me, but in LA, you got to do it a little bit for you. It's a little bit about you as well and the audience. The audience is always first, but I came up with the lady on TV because that's it. That's what I do. That's what I am, but it's a little funny because I'll be out filming or doing things
Yeah.
and people will recognize me and say, aren't you that lady on TV? And I said, yeah. So I just went with it. And it's true. But what's been fun about starting this, I of course now have a website and a blog and Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and you can follow my life.
Yeah.
But the idea of the lady on TV, you think one thing, it's very prim and proper and all of that, but really, it's not all that. That's an aspect of me, but there's like a goofy, kooky, ridiculous side to me that I'm learning to let out and share with the
Yes.
world.
Yes.
And it's been a good experience, learning to let some of the walls down and just be a little ridiculous sometimes.
Well, you're ridiculous. I've seen you're ridiculous. It takes me a minute to get it, but I do get it.
Yeah.
But you see what it is from my generation within the industry. All right, it has changed so much, and there's so many different avenues. I mean, you've got Twitter, you got Facebook, you got this, you got that, we didn't have that.
Right.
And it's a whole different ball game, and I get it. And as a talent for many years, as an agent for many years, I've seen the changes. I see what you're going through. I understand it, but the humor is different. Your humor, not you.
Right. This generation.
This
new
generation of humor.
Internet generation.
Right. It's not funny to me. It's like, really? I don't see the humor in it. And it's just that, to me, it just seems stupid. But with that being said, I'm sure looking back to the humor when we were in the industry looks stupid too. But there was something about a warmth years ago that I feel isn't there now. And if that was there, it would draw more people. Am I explaining that right?
Yeah.
It's that warmth. It's that twinkle in the eye. It's like almost a mind game.
Right.
It's like, which is before your time. It's like Sid Caesar, who did not speak different languages, but he could do the accents. And you really thought he was speaking, and you were hysterical laughing.
It was the simplicity.
Right.
The simplicity in the humor. The very relatable, simple funny. Just simple funny.
Life-
Plain funny. Not like, let's not overcomplicate it and overthink it and come up with something really clever. That's what this is now. Like, it's coming up with really funny internet memes and like being smart funny and
Yeah.
but it's not as, you don't get the belly laugh
No,
from it. You get the like ha ha ha
Yeah.
LOL,
Yeah.
but
You
I
don't.
don't think you get the real gut-wrenching laughter.
Yeah.
Like the Robin Williams of of comedy. Just
Oh, that energy that went into Robin Williams,
Yeah.
and the talking about the things that he was doing, the different characters he was doing. I mean, it's characters that people thought about, and then when you saw it come out with that weird voice, you'd crack up laughing.
exactly.
I mean, I've gone on the internet. There's a lot of my uh, talent who keep in touch with me, and they have a blog, and they have this, or they'll send me something, and I'm thinking, damn, you're serious. Damn. And then I get halfway through it and I delete it. But it's a whole different thing.
It is. And here's the best part: anybody can do it, and you can do it if you want. If you have a hobby or a passion or something you want to share with the world, if you're an expert in whatever it is, in making clocks or you're the best sugar cookie maker in Maine, well, do it. Share it with the world. You can literally set up your phone, your iPad, and film yourself talking and sharing a recipe, and you can share it with the world. That's the one upside of the internet and having all of this, but, you know.
Yes, it's easier now to be noticed than it was years ago. Years ago, you hit the pavement, you did everything you could do, you never said no to a job, you just push, push, push. Now you can put a camera on yourself and
Can just Google you and find you.
you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. It's so, you know, a lot of our audience out there, I mean, there's adults out there, there's teenagers out there who have a goal, they have a dream. Give them some advice.
I would say just do it. Just do whatever you want to do. And you have to love it. You have to love it, or else you won't succeed.
Do it. Yeah.
And just go for it. Try it, and don't give up. Ask anybody. I learned it was really hard for me to ask for help. Because I'm very prideful, and I'm a Leo, and I'm like, I don't need help. I don't need your help. Da da da.
Yeah.
But you'd be surprised how willing people would be to help you.
Yeah.
Help you on your way and do anything and everything. Like, I have also been on a YouTube show that's about politics, and that's like my least favorite thing.
Yeah.
But I did it anyway, because you just get the experience and you learn and you get to work with other people, and I found how I fit into that. I play the lead intern who's a complete idiot and asks questions like, so who's this Benghazi guy? You know?
Yeah.
And it's funny, but just do it. What else? What other advice? Learn from everybody you can, and surround
Absolutely.
yourself with the top of the top of the best, of the best people.
It's very important.
Read books about people who've succeeded and see what they did that separates them from the rest of the world.
The autobiographies of you know, stars you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talent here in Maine. I don't think they get enough exposure. I don't know a lot of them, but I do know there is a lot of talent here.
Yeah.
And when you come on the show, you give them encouragement. I mean, I have people asking me, when is your niece coming? What's going on with Rachel? Where is she? So now tell us, you did a red carpet.
I did. I got through networking, another piece of advice. I just networked with anybody and everybody. You have to put yourself out there and meet strangers, and you have to go up to people and say, like, hi, I'm Rachel, nice to meet you. And just, you never know.
Right.
So I did that in one way or another, and met this guy who needed a host for a red carpet event that night. I met him at a networking event. I went home, and he called me and was like, hi, I just met you. Can you meet me tomorrow? We need to do this red carpet interview for the show I'm doing. It's like, yeah, sure, great.
You never say no.
No, and it was like, had I not gone to that networking thing and
Right.
been in the right place in the right time, and I got to interview Red Foo. He's an LMFAO. He's the grandson or something of, I don't know, somebody famous. Google it.
Okay, who is this again?
Redfoo, like Redfoo, and he's
Okay.
from the group LMFAO.
Okay.
And some other up-and-coming artists, and it's been fun. And LA is great, and there's lots of opportunity. You just have to go out and seize it. If there's something you want to do, you just have to go do it.
Yeah.
So, and then the other YouTube show that I worked on, it's up. It's called Conservatively Unplugged, and I'm in a couple episodes as the lead intern, and that was so much fun.
What'd you do?
So I did a lot of going out on the street interviews.
Yeah.
And there's a whole series of me asking all these people questions, like the who's Benghazi and should the NRA still send people to outer space? And and I play it super deadpan. And if you watch it, you really think I
Serious.
really am serious, and I really don't know. And I just want to learn. I just don't know. And it's been fun. And then I played like a gun girl. We did a whole gun rights type of segment. And I bring in all these guns and border patrol. It's pretty funny. It's good. You can look it up. It's all up
Okay.
there. And yeah, it's just been good. And then, of course, I'm working all the trade shows, and I've been traveling for the last year.
You have been.
covering
She's been
everything.
doing narration,
Yeah.
right?
Like hosting. Yeah, we do
Right.
newscasts for different organizations and meetings and trade shows. And I've been to ConExpo ConAg, which is a huge construction show, and I get to play on big tractors and bulldozers and cranes and lifts, and that was fun to learn all about that. And I've done so many I can't even remember. Insurance shows, education research shows, hematology was a big one I just wrapped up. So it's been fun. I'm learning about everything.
Yeah, you have to.
Dabbling in everything.
I've always said, you have a wealth of information, and some of it you might need for a game show. The rest of it, it's back in the file.
Yeah, you learn, a little about a lot.
Yeah, it's true. I'm very proud of you. I mean, there is a change in you now. I see that with LA.
Yeah,
I do. You're calmer.
I am.
You're much calmer. Your presentation is much calmer. Not that it was bad before,
No.
but it's almost like the confidence. It's confidence. That's what it is,
Yeah.
which is great to see. I mean, you know you're going to be a host. You know Giuliani or Giuliano or Rancic. She's on E! Entertainment. Her contract's over in 2 years.
Couple of years, yeah.
Yeah, well, she's going to fill in then after that.
I'll be ready.
Yeah.
Thanks,
exactly.
G.
Yeah, G, that's great. Just put my niece right in there, okay?
I promise I'll do your job justice, I promise.
Yes, you will.
But yeah, so it's been great. Now off to a new year. New start.
So what's your plan?
I'm shooting a new demo reel with
Okay.
Marky people, and there's of course a new change to how they want your reel to be. So I'm playing the game, stepping up, changing my reel.
And she has a good reel already.
Oh yeah, that's just a different style they want. They want you hosting your reel. They want to see your personality talking about your work.
Right.
So you tossed a clips about me, and I've actually dug up some really great. My first ever TV hosting appearance when I was 9 years old at a summer camp with Chrissy,
Okay, with Chrissy, okay.
my neighbor, who I'm still friends with. She's Dr. Chrissy now. But we're sitting there and we're doing the news, and I'm like a deer in headlights like this. And she's like, hi, welcome to the show. We went here and went to this summer camp today, and we did this and that. And then I was supposed to talk. And she's like, Rachel, say something. Say something. Say something. And I'm like, and we read the Power Rangers book and acted it out. And then she talks again, and then I say my name, and that's it. And then, it's awful. It's absolutely awful. I'm horrible. But luckily,
But that's a great clip.
yeah, and so that's kind of the thing. So I've got to say, I got my start in television when I was 8 years old, and I think I did a pretty good job. And then you play the clip, and you're like, well, clearly I needed some education, so
And then you
I
come
went
back
to
to
journalism
today.
school, and yeah, so I'm going to do that and shop around for maybe some new agencies that focus on hosts, and
But couldn't you go to Las Vegas and pick up a couple agents?
I could, but it's got to be worth the money to travel
Yeah.
to Vegas and have somewhere to stay and go work there and do that. But there is work there,
There's
and
a lot of work in Vegas and hosting. There's a
Yeah.
lot of hosting in Vegas.
yeah, it's just about getting your own experience. And then another piece of advice I've learned is to volunteer, like for nonprofits. They always need a host for a benefit or whatever it is that they're doing. And so I've got to find something that speaks to me as far as that goes in the volunteering world and reach out to them and do hosting. I used to do that in Orlando when I lived there. My one girlfriend had a belly dancing benefit that I hosted for 3 years for her. And I've walked in a charity fashion show, and I love it. I'm happy
Yeah.
to do it. It's
Yeah.
fun for me, I thoroughly enjoy it. And I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen, but I know
But
what I
that's-
need to do, and I don't really care. I just know it's all going to work out.
Well, you have to stay on your path that you're on now. Because your path, you worked very hard
Right.
to put your foot into California, into LA market. New York market, every market's a little different, or a lot different, I should say. And since you have your foot there, you need to just stay focused and keep going.
Yeah. Now that I've learned the layout, I learned the game,
Yeah.
and now it's time to play. Like you learn the rules, you get the tools, you learn all the techniques you need, and then batter up.
Batter up.
Yeah.
I know.
But first, I want to relax in Maine.
Yes, she's here with me.
First, let me take a little vacation in Maine and then start.
Well, she got here last night.
Yeah.
So after today, she's going to sleep for a few days, and we're going to go play, whatever we decide to do. We never make plans. We just
We just do it.
do it. And that's all the fun. And we have lots of good talks and in-depth talks and a lot of lobster rolls.
And laughs.
Oh, we laugh.
And prank phone calls.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, we do a lot of prank phone calls, and we can't do
do?
it on the air because
No.
we'll probably get sued.
No.
But anyway,
But if you're lucky enough to receive one, you know
You'll
what
never
it is.
forget it.
Yeah.
you'll never forget it.
Yeah,
So,
that's
and this
silly.
is our little friend here on the show today, Susie.
Hi, Susie. How do you feel?
Well, Susie was left on the roadside,
Oh.
and the next
couldn't
show
see.
after ours,
Yeah.
the young lady there picked Susie up and washed her and brushed her out.
Well, you look great, doll.
And so we had her on our show just as a mascot, and she could meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
And, of course, I'm going to take you to a toy store.
Yes.
Taking her to a toy store is the most fun ever. She gets on the bikes, she's riding up and down the aisle, so we're going to do that too while she's here. Well, we're running out of time,
Okay. Well, thanks for having me.
but we always love having you on the show. The audience want to, have an update on what you're doing, where you're at. Look at her. She's looking very LA. Foof the hair, honey, foof the hair.
Okay.
Okay, all right. And so when she comes back again, we'll have a third view of you. You're going to be very different then, too.
I think so, too.
I think so. So if you remember the show from a year and a half ago, and this show now, there is a big, big change of growth and confidence and focus. So I'm very proud of her. Honey,
Yes.
we have to say goodbye
Goodbye.
because we have to go prank the mayor.
Okay. Let's do it.
We're going to City Hall.
He doesn't know what's coming.
He doesn't know it's coming. And I was told he's a chocoholic. So he's saying he's being framed. So Rachel and I are going up there in a few hours, and we're going to video the mayor trying to talk his way out of this.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Honey, I love you.
I love you too.
And to the audience, have a good day. Thank you for sitting down, watching our show today, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.